Hey YouTube, this is Southern Prepper 1. As you know, it's Prime Day today and tomorrow. We have put our emergency water straws on sale. $8 a piece if you buy a pack of 5. You might not need emergency water straws you might already purchase, but if you hit that link and you buy anything through Amazon, it definitely helps the channel. I get a small commission. It costs you nothing extra. So these are on sale if you need them. Let's get right into boots on the ground. Stay to the end. The last story is very important. It's first-hand accounts of a family in Texas. But let's get right into it. The Federal Reserve Chairman said that they are waiting to interest rates get to 2% to cut interest rates, but they're probably going to do it earlier than that because they say when they figure out that interest rates are 2%, they've wasted some time. So they're trying to cut. And this is very important. They're trying to balance the inflation rate. They're trying to balance growth. So they're probably going to have some cuts in September or November. Those will be probably the first ones. And President Biden wants these cuts immediately because it will stimulate the economy. It will hopefully help the housing market. But they're doing a balancing act. As you probably heard, J.D. Vance, the Republican senator from Ohio, is definitely going to be his VP. He's been nominated. I have no problems with that pick. I'm just hoping that we'll have a good, fair, clean election coming up. Also, they had a committee meeting on the House, and a lot of information came out, but the most important thing was that since Biden has become president, there has been over 900 new regulations that have been passed. And this has cost small businesses, they estimate, $440 billion. So far, $440 billion. And if these continue, it will cost small businesses $1.5 trillion over the next decade. Major problems with immigration, and I just want to highlight one particular place that would be in Springfield, Ohio. The people there are demanding that their city council do something. They've had an influx since 2014 of over 20,000 migrants, and this is a small town of 60,000 people. A huge majority of these people came in just in the last few years, 5,000 of them. Major strain on all government services. It's causing rent prices to go high because there's just so many more people competing. Education, the school systems have to give these kids special English classes. It's just a struggle for the teachers. Just a huge problem. I think it's come to a head because an illegal immigrant that had no driver's license caused the bus accident, rolled over, injured a bunch of kids, killed a child. But you can see, if your small town had an influx of 20,000 people, it's going to create problems. These are problems in all aspects. So, do you have a small town? Do you see the influx? I was not far from here in North Carolina. I had to pick someone up at the airport. I stopped at a Walmart. I had some time to kill, so I stopped at a Walmart. I don't want to sound racist because I'm not racist. I was very concerned as I went through the store and all I heard was Spanish. All I saw was probably illegal immigrants. Yes, I'm judging that, but from their looks, it looked like they were Honduras, Guatemalans. The store was probably 80% Hispanic people, and I have no problems with that. If they came across the board legally, if they did everything right, I'm 100% for immigration. So I can see how this small town is suffering, and just not far from here. And when I say suffering, it is suffering because no town is able to just have an influx of these people, especially when they don't speak English. It makes it very hard to assimilate into there. A new ruling in the EU. This is crazy. All cars will now have to be fitted with speed-limiting AI technology. So this is going to be a new gadget, and there's different levels. It's under the Intelligent Speed Assistance, and is legal requirement for motors vehicles July 7th. So it's already gone into effect. So they're going to use AI, they're going to use GPS data, and even onboard cameras to assess your speed in real time as you drive along. The system has the ability to intervene There's 3 levels of it. For example, the system can assess that you're going too fast, and it can make corrections. First, it could just issue a warning message to you, sound the alarm to the driver that you're breaking the limit. It can also make it hard for you to push down on the accelerator. So it makes it harder for you to speed. And then finally, the more active units can actually slow the vehicle down, whether you want it or not. So this is Big Brother. After these things are in place, who says that the government can't use this to control your freedom of movement? Another crazy thing, the federal government has agreed to fund flights from Panama to the United States with illegal immigrants. We made a deal with Panama that if you help close down a major corridor, this would be the Darien Gap, we'll just send it by plane. So it'd be safer for them, less problems for Panama. The funding involved for paying for all this, and also to build further capacity to execute a safe and humane process for them to get into the United States. So we're going to spend money to fly them here and increase the efficiency. Now, no amount of money was given, so we don't know if this is costing $100,000, $1 million, $1 billion. So I have no idea. I'm still digging deep to see if they have come out with a budget for this. Elon Musk, it's reported that he is donating $45 million a month to help the Trump campaign. And this is probably the most important, so I'm going to read it pretty much word for word. We're still out of power here in New Caney, Texas, and this came in yesterday. The latest estimate of power restoration is 10 p.m. tomorrow. So today by 10 p.m., hopefully this family will have their power. Of my family, I'm the crazy prepper, and as luck would have it, the one affected the most from the storm is still without power and running water. I guess he's comparing his other brothers and sisters in the area. Embarrassingly enough, I believe the weatherman who said first the storm would miss us and then it wouldn't be that bad. I believe that. With all my preps, I didn't need to do anything before the storm. I just completed the first of my 2 small solar arrays, so I was focused on seeing how it performed. I decided to take a last-minute trip to pick up some snacks and found an empty store. I totally forgot to put gas in my truck or gas cans. I then came home to wait out the storm. The power went out early Monday morning, so my freezers, refrigerators, phone, and fan went on battery power. I have about 10K of storage. Huge oak trees began falling like dominoes, but luckily only hit my storage container. After the storm passed and the sun came out, I quickly realized that at a minimum load, I was using about 422 watts per hour. That's a lot of power if you take 422 times 24 hours a day. Could not be sustained with only 500 to 1,000 watts per hour, and I was getting from 4 to 5 hours of sun. So take the 4 to 5 hours times how many watts. So yes, he's using way more than he's putting back in the system. Well, it dawned on me that I have very little gas for my generator. I began using the little gas I had to supplement my solar, but at day 2 after the storm, I decided I needed to make a trip to find gas. I could tell from the power outage map that a nearby shopping center was the only thing open for a mile, so I called and was told they just got a gas delivery and they were open. I rushed out and was amazed by the destruction caused by so many trees being knocked over. There were so many power lines down and no signs that anything was being done about it. When I got there, I found a line around the shopping center for gas and chose to come home rather than risk being stranded in line. I think he had very low gas in his car, so he didn't want to risk it. 2 days later, I had robbed gas from everything I had. If I didn't find gas soon, everything in my freezer would be going to waste, lost it. I'd always thought I would just start canning in this position, but after one goes around, I found it nearly impossible under these conditions. Yes, trying to can with no power under conditions where you don't have hot water, running water, stuff like that is very difficult. I decided to make a one-way run to a small town to the east that had power. I had enough gas to get there and possibly to the next town after that, but would be stranded if I was unsuccessful in getting gas. After a nerve-wracking drive through more disaster zones, I made it to a small town and found it unaffected. No one was at the gas pump, I assumed, and there must be out of gas. When I inserted my card and the gas started pumping, it was a surreal feeling. I almost felt like I was stealing it. Now that things appear to be returning to normal, I have plenty of lessons learned and a renewed sense of prepping. Things like my water preps worked. I used all my jug drinking water and then replenished it with my hand pump on my well. My water catchment allowed me to water my animals and keep clean. My emergency preps were, I don't understand what you're saying. I need a larger solar array and will have my gas tanks filled for the next SHT event, whether it be large or small. It's been a hot and humbling experience. And then shortly after that, he wrote this to me. Another notable observation: I have 4 siblings. 3 had generator failures due to poor maintenance. 1 lost all the food they had in the freezers. 1 was fortunate enough to get power back quickly, and 1 had a tiny unused spare that they made do with, so they had a smaller generator. The 4th let the freezer and fridge go and went to a hotel. This is a reminder to everyone not to leave gas in your carburetor and test generators every few months. So, this is a prepper that definitely had problems. Can you imagine millions upon millions upon millions of people going through a natural disaster, going through a grid down event without being able to take care of their families? I think it'd be unsafe to be traveling during this time, so I urge you, just prep. Get what you need. Learn from this guy's mistake. Didn't have enough fuel, wasn't prepared properly. But it sounded like it. He had some solar, he did some things. So continue prepping, continue getting your house in order to take care of yourself, because you can't help your neighbors. You can't help anyone if you can't even take care of yourself. Thanks for watching.